Welcome everyone to Unscripted Coding. Today we're going to talk about the sample app again from Google, and it's called Explain Things with Lots of Tiny Cats. It is exactly as you might imagine. You take a complicated topic, ask it to explain it, and it uses image and text generation from AI to create a quick explainer. And so here we've asked it to explain how neural networks work, and it created a series of little cat photos to explain it. And so here it's hugely simplified based on the prompt, but it says here, let's see, you get help from a zillion tiny cats. Each cat has one job: to look at one tiny part of a picture. Maybe one cat looks at a pointy ear, blah, blah, blah. And then each cat looks super fast and either gets excited, sees its thing, or stays calm. Blah, blah, blah. All those little meows and purrs go together to another group of slightly bigger cats, and so on. And so it's breaking down how neural networks work, which is all of these individual nodes clicking on and off, basically returning 1 or 0 based on what it sees, the tiny pixel or the tiny token that it is responsible for. And as you group together, of course, you get to this bigger picture. This is not the only one. So if I said, explain how a cup of tea is made, we can wait for it to generate. But in short, what we have is a 131 line set of code, and what I want to do is take that and turn it into something where you could upload to TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts or whatever by changing these into just into videos. So I'm going to keep it fairly simple and tight for now, but you can imagine that we could chain this up into multiple steps. One is we can add a bit of animation to it. We can add voice to it. We can do different things. But for now, I just want to see how we can use Python to generate the next set. Or rather, I think this is JavaScript. So we'll see. We have this code, okay, and I'm going to copy it over to Cursor. Just close these off. And Cursor is just another VS Code based IDE, and I am going to use the agentic phase and say, hey, can you turn this into a Python application that uses a editor instead of a web page? And so I'm going to ask it to translate it first. And while that's running, let's go back to the tiny cat explainer. And so here, how tea is made. First, imagine a bunch of teeny cats, blah, 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 add hot water. So I'm seeing less of the cats here, and here is a mistake. It generated an image rather than a hand-drawn, not hand-drawn, but AI-drawn, cartoony kind of style. So this one's not the greatest one, but let's try it one more time. But what I wanted to talk about while Cursor is running in the background is where this all comes from. And all of this comes from Gemini 2.0, which is actually only 3 months old. It feels a lot older than that. But Gemini 2.0 has this image generation capability. Models are getting better and better at that. There are more and more of these multimodal models, which means that Google or OpenAI or Anthropic are not just training on vast corpuses of text. So it's not just all English or writing, but instead they're starting to throw audio and music and videos and images into the mix. And that's why you're seeing these tools get better in terms of voice recognition, getting a conversation going, and all these pieces. Now, we're at Gemini 2.5, and we're probably seeing Gemini 3.0 soon, but the image generation capability is still stuck on 2.0 for now. What it is that you can actually have a conversation about the image and get the AI to generate images over and over. Now, if you ask Gemini 2.0 Flash to create concept art for a movie set in a Western style alien colony, you probably want to use something like Midjourney or the latest version of Stable Diffusion. Gemini 2.0 isn't going to replace that or match that capability. However, where it has a lot of abilities is you can have that conversation so that you generate this image first and then you say, hey, exactly here, I want to add a lamp to the table. And it's able to make that on the fly in a way that, say, Stable Diffusion or Midjourney is unable to. It would be very tempted to just regenerate a whole new image rather than modify the existing one. Now, I've done a bit of this on the side as well, and it is handy in even video editing. It's not, or sorry, in image editing. It's not amazing, your results aren't great, but say I have a picture of just me, like a real picture that I took a photo of, usually I would go into, say, Photoshop and say, crop out my face or take out the tie or whatever I'm wearing. Image generation is able to do that much quicker. And this is the model that gives the capability to build something like this, in which we can ask a quick explainer with little cats, and then we generate this along the way. So no images this time, which is nice. Okay, so what is my vision? What my vision is I want to take these slides and basically turn them into a slideshow in MP4 or AVI, so a video format. So instead of like 3 images, I wanted to make a YouTube Shorts or a TikTok reel, Instagram reel or TikTok style video in which it just cycles through. Again, we can get a bit more sophisticated, but as a first test, I'd love to be able to get that done. Okay, so we have a bunch of setup instructions here, but it has translated this for me. So there is a setup file, and these are all tests. Oh, and here's the main file. We run the tests. Once it's okay, then I guess we don't care about the test setup. We will go straight into the Flash GUI. Now, of course, I am missing too many little pieces here. Of course, we are missing the API key, but what we're seeing is a GUI, graphical user interface, and then from here, still the graphical user interface, but here's the generation. What is the input text? Run the generate. There is a thread. I think it's being a bit more complicated than it needs to be. Add slides, and then I think these slides are just being added to the GUI. So the next step is I'm going to have conversation with Cursor to say, can you output a video, probably using FFmpeg, to stitch these images together along with the text underneath. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to get working. I don't think this is all that complicated, but we'll see the results soon. Okay, that took a little longer than I expected. We are sitting at probably 45 minutes or so. And so it kept going down the wrong path because it was using an older library. And from there, just a bit of annoyance because it has been a little while since I've used Cursor. So few of them moving back and forth had me confused. Regardless, this is what we have. We can enter a message in this really crunched up UI. I'll ask it to fix it, but it has separated the output here. So you have each individual image and the text. And that happens when we click an example or generate based on the image. And from there, we can click export video, which you saw at the very end, and we have a video created pretty easily. So I'll just play this here. And so they all see a ball, some kittens think it's a food, blah, blah, blah. That looks fun. So I probably want to move it up to maybe 4 seconds a slide, just a little bit longer. It takes a bit to read it out. But you can see this is pretty cool. If I just throw some background music, I can load this up onto TikTok pretty easily and pretty quickly. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is that some of these old ideas can be brought anew. We can share this in different ways. Sure, Google has it as a website, but we are in a world where seemingly people are bringing things onto TikTok or back and forth as well. Anyways, thanks for watching. I am a little bit drained of energy because this was, I'll admit, a bit frustrating. And one of my big mistakes was I thought it was taking a while, but it was waiting on my command. And so I swapped over to Gemini 2.5 Pro, which admittedly is one of my favorite models. But when it comes to this debugging and using with an AI agent, it is not a great model. And it made a bunch of mistakes. And this is why the UI looks a bit scrunched as well. So stick to Claude for now, especially for AI agents in programming, and you should be fine. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week with another project. Thanks for watching.